Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Insight Hour. If you don't know me, I'm Digi, that guy that guides you through all the things. But before we start today, two things. First of all, watch this.
Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Move, bitch, get out the way.
Anybody get the license plate off that Jeep? No? And second of all, I'm not feeling good. I'm probably not going to make it through the entire recording of this. So today Alice is just going to take you through the weekday update. Having said that, from me to you, stay weird, stay safe, and Alice, take it from here.
In a major medical breakthrough out of New York University Langone Health, surgeons there have successfully transplanted a kidney from a genetically engineered pig into a brain-dead man. Amazingly, this pig kidney has been functioning normally in the human body for over a month now. This represents the longest a pig organ has ever survived in a human. The pioneering procedure was led by Dr. Robert Montgomery, director of NYU's Transplant Institute. He expressed excitement that the pig kidney is working even better than a human kidney normally would. Right after the transplant, it started producing urine, a very positive sign. The context here is that over 100,000 patients are languishing on organ transplant waiting lists in the U.S. Thousands die each year because of the drastic shortage of organs. Dr. Montgomery and other brilliant minds are exploring if organs from specially modified pigs could help resolve this crisis and save lives. The family of 57-year-old Maurice Mo Miller, who passed away in upstate New York, selflessly donated his body to test this groundbreaking approach. Miller's sister shared feeling conflicted, but ultimately felt he would have wanted to contribute to the advance of medical science. Animal-to-human transplants have always posed challenges, since the human immune system rejects foreign tissue. But new techniques allow making pigs with compatible organs for humans. In a related experiment, doctors at the University of Maryland transplanted a modified pig heart into a living patient. Sadly, the man only survived 2 months. While they investigate what went wrong, that experience provided key lessons. The FDA is now reviewing proposals for clinical trials of pig organ transplants in volunteer patients. This careful research is so important for one day making transplantation routine and safe. The success so far with Mr. Miller shows how pioneering procedures like this could be the future for patients desperate for life-saving organs. I'm excited by the progress and hope it brings to those on transplant waiting lists. More work lies ahead, but the medical world is making strides against this difficult problem. Up next, a major decision by South Korea's antitrust regulator, the Korea Fair Trade Commission, to crack down on misleading 5G advertisements. The KFTC has imposed hefty fines totaling 33.6 billion won, or about $25 million on the country's 3 major mobile carriers, SK Telecom, KT, and LG Uplus. The investigation found these telecom giants exaggerated the speeds of their 5G networks in ads and incorrectly claimed they offered the fastest speeds compared to rivals. But in reality, consumers couldn't achieve the advertised peak speeds in normal usage, and the companies lacked evidence their networks were fastest. In its statement, the KFTC said it hopes these fines will stop the intense competition between carriers that leads to deceptive marketing claims. While KT and SK Telecom declined to comment, LG Uplus said it is reviewing the KFTC's penalties. The exact fine amounts for each firm will be announced on Thursday. For context, as of June, South Korea had over 30 million 5G subscribers out of 80 million total mobile users, according to government data. The KFTC's crackdown represents a push for truth in advertising when it comes to 5G capabilities. Consumers deserve accurate information to make informed choices between network providers as 5G adoption accelerates. While competition breeds innovation, misleading speed claims only frustrate consumers. This enforcement action sends a strong message to the telecom industry to market 5G responsibly. Going forward, I hope to see cleaner, more transparent advertising about realistic 5G speeds and performance. The potential of 5G is exciting, but hype shouldn't outweigh honesty in promoting the latest technology. Also, do you feel that American companies use the same practices? And if so, should we be holding our companies just as accountable? Let us know in the comments who your carrier is and how you feel about your current service. And then, a tragic incident occurred in Malaysia when a private jet crashed into a car and a motorbike on a highway, resulting in the death of at least 10 people. The crash was catastrophic, with the jet exploding into a fireball upon impact. Video footage from the scene depicted thick black smoke emanating from the crash site. The aircraft involved in the accident was identified as a Beechcraft Model 390. Prior to the crash, the aircraft had lost communication with the air traffic control tower. Interestingly, there was no emergency call made from the aircraft, even though it had been granted clearance to land, as stated by Hussein Omar Khan. Among the victims of the crash was a local politician, as revealed by the flight manifest. However, the Transport Minister of Malaysia, Anthony Loke, did not disclose the identities of the deceased, stating that they would wait for the forensic test results from a local hospital. One of the identified victims was the pilot, Shahrul Kamal Roslan. He is survived by his wife and 4 sons. In a heart-wrenching moment outside the hospital, Shahrul's mother, Mahanam, aged 67, recounted her last conversation with her son where he expressed his love for her. The Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia provided some initial insights into the crash. They confirmed that the plane had received clearance for takeoff and emphasized that both pilots were seasoned professionals. However, the exact cause of the crash remains undetermined, with investigations still ongoing, as reiterated by Mr. Loke. Eyewitness accounts provided further details about the incident. An engineer working nearby reported hearing an explosion, and upon reaching the crash site, he witnessed injured individuals. Another witness, Muhammad Syami Muhammad Hashim, who previously served in the Malaysian Air Force, observed the plane's erratic flight pattern. He described hearing a loud explosion shortly after, and upon reaching the crash location, he was met with the devastating sight of the aircraft's remains. Next, we jump over to the city of Jaranwala in eastern Pakistan, where a violent mob went on a rampage yesterday following allegations that a Christian man named Raja Amir had desecrated the Quran. The severity of the violence prompted the government to call in police reinforcements and even the army to restore order. The mob demolished Amir's house, set multiple churches on fire, and damaged several other homes in the Christian community. Thankfully, no casualties were immediately reported. The unrest began after some local Muslims claimed they saw Amir and a friend tearing pages from the Quran, discarding them on the ground, and writing derogatory remarks on other pages. This angered the Muslim community, spurring a mob to retaliate by targeting churches and Christian homes as people fled to safety. Police eventually dispersed the mob by firing shots in the air and using batons. They were assisted by Muslim clerics and elders calling for calm. Authorities have since arrested dozens of rioters and are searching for Amir, who has gone into hiding. Disturbing videos on social media showed the mob vandalizing church properties and setting them ablaze. One showed a man removing a steel cross from a church roof to cheers below. Some clips depicted police observing without intervening. According to priest Khalid Mukhtar, most Christians have fled to safer areas. He believes most of the 17 churches here were likely attacked, though this remains unconfirmed. Father Gulshan Barkat dismissed the blasphemy allegations as false and blamed local mosques for inciting the attacks. Accusations of blasphemy often ignite mob violence in Pakistan, where such offenses can bring the death penalty. This reminds me of a 2009 incident where blasphemy accusations led to 6 Christians murdered and 60 homes burned in Punjab. The attacks have been widely condemned by leaders across Pakistan as unacceptable. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwar ul Haq Kakar denounced the violence and promised action against the perpetrators. Senior Christian leaders appealed for justice and protection. What are your thoughts of religious violence? Are you a religious person yourself? Lastly,
this is the story of how the world's biggest looters got looted.
Gold jewelry and gemstones from as far back as 1500 BC have been systematically stolen from the British Museum in what is believed to be an inside job spanning several years. The theft also included irreplaceable items made of glass, and some items in the vaults were found damaged. The thefts, which encompass items ranging from the 15th century BC to the 19th century AD, are believed to have taken place over a significant duration, with some incidents dating back to at least 2019. This period includes the time when the museum was closed for 163 days due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The British Museum has refrained from releasing descriptions or photographs of the stolen items and has not provided a valuation. However, experts in the field have labeled these artifacts as priceless. The museum took the step of terminating the employment of the suspected individual involved in the theft before involving the police. As of now, no arrests have been made, but the museum has announced its intention to pursue legal action against the suspected individual. George Osborne, the former chancellor and current chairman of the museum, has initiated an independent security review in response to the thefts. Hartwig Fisher, the museum's director, publicly apologized for the loss and mentioned that external experts have been consulted to ascertain the full extent of the missing, damaged, and stolen items. There are speculations within the art industry that the museum might still be unaware of the complete scope of the thefts. Art experts have theorized that the lack of public information regarding the stolen items might be because the detectives have leads on their potential whereabouts. and are hopeful of their recovery. Osborne disclosed that the theft was identified earlier in the current year and emphasized the museum's commitment to enhancing security measures. He also clarified that there's no indication that the thefts were motivated by ideological or political reasons, such as repatriating the artifacts to their original countries. Notably, none of the stolen items had been on recent public display. In a statement, the museum clarified that the majority of the stolen items were small pieces stored in a specific collection storeroom. These items, which were primarily used for academic and research purposes, ranged from gold jewelry and semi-precious stones to glass artifacts, spanning from the 15th century BC to the 19th century AD. Christopher Marinello, a lawyer and founder of Art Recovery International, reiterated the historical significance of the stolen artifacts, labeling them as priceless. The independent review of the incident will be spearheaded by Sir Nigel Boardman, a former trustee of the British Museum, and Lucy Dorsey, Chief Constable of the British Transport Police. The primary objective of this review is to initiate a robust program to recover the missing items. Fisher expressed his deep regret over the incident, emphasizing the museum's dedication to safeguarding its collections. He assured that measures have been taken to halt further thefts, and that the museum is resolute in rectifying the situation. And that wraps up our weekday review episode. Thank you all for joining us. Now, if you don't mind, I have to go make sure DG is doing all right.
Is it done yet?
Yes, eat your soup already. And stay in bed.
My stomach.
Have a great weekend, everyone.